Welcome to home orientation. Locking and unlocking the door. To unlock the door, you will use your house key and unlock both the deadbolt and the lock on the doorknob. The key that you get from your landlord will be the only key you need to unlock both locks. When you come inside, be sure to lock both of the locks behind you. It is okay to leave it unlocked if you are awake and in the house, but it is a good idea to keep it locked at all times. You also want to make sure that all the doors are locked when you go to bed at night, and be sure to always lock the doors when you leave the house. On your door, you will likely have a door viewer or a peephole that will let you see who is on the other side when someone knocks. This is an easy way to check and see who is at your door without having to open it. Turning on lights. To turn on the lights, simply flip the switch on the wall up. The light that the switch is wired to will come on. To turn the light back off, flip the switch down and the light will turn off. If you flip a light on and the light doesn't come on, your light bulb might need to be changed. Be sure that your lights are in the off position before changing the light bulb. There will still be an electric current going to the bulb even if the light is burnt out. It is possible to shock yourself if you do not turn it off before you change the light. Replacing light bulbs is the responsibility of the tenants. Be sure to keep your lights off if there is enough light to see, and whenever you leave your home, to save on the electricity bill. The thermostat in your house regulates the temperature in your home. You can choose for it to be warmer or cooler depending on which setting and temperature that you place your thermostat on. In the summer, choose cooling, and in the winter, choose heating to adjust and keep your home comfortable. Know that each time the heat or air kicks on in your home, you are paying for the energy it takes to power it. Because of the cost, you don't want the heat or air to be running continuously. It is better not to have the air too low or the heat too high, otherwise it might run non-stop. Also, keep the doors and the windows closed while the heat or air is running. If your windows or doors are open while the heat or air are on, it will run continuously and cause your energy bills to be $300 to $400 for the month. If your energy is that high, UAP will not be able to do much to assist you. Be sure when it comes to your windows to keep them locked when not in use, especially for windows on the ground floor. Keep your windows locked when you leave the house for security. Maintenance. When you move into the apartment, it will be in a clean, decent condition. It is crucial that the apartment be left in the same condition that you find it in, so as not to incur fees. This includes the walls, the floors, and the appliances. The best way to avoid incurring any fees is to keep the home as clean as possible, and use the proper cleaning supplies and techniques to avoid any damage to the floors or the walls, such as holes, stains, or cuffs. Know that smoking is not permitted in rental apartments in the United States, and if you smoke, it must be done outside. Also be aware that every few months they will come to the apartment complex and spray for bugs. Because Georgia is so hot and humid, there will be bugs such as cockroaches or other water bugs. Your apartment complex will come to spray to keep them under control. If you find that there are a lot of bugs, more than what is expected, you can call your landlord and they will come spray some more. Smoke detector. In every apartment, there is a smoke detector located on your ceiling. They are usually near your kitchen and there can be multiple throughout a home. This alarm is there to warn you if there is an abnormal amount of smoke in your home, which is good in case of a fire in your or your neighbor's home. However, they can be easily triggered if you burn something in the kitchen. When the alarm goes off, it will be a high-pitched, endless beep. To turn the smoke alarm off in non-emergencies, fan around the alarm to clear the smoke. If your smoke alarm beeps slowly and continuously, this must mean that you need to replace the batteries, which is your responsibility as the tenant. The apartment that you will be resettled in will have a full-size kitchen appliance, a full-size fridge with a freezer, 4 burner stoves with an oven, and potentially a dishwasher. With your fridge, it is extremely important to keep your fridge and freezer all the way closed. If you are open for long periods of time, it will ruin the food inside, can make water leak from your fridge and onto the floor, and can cause your fridge to break. Make sure your fridge and freezer are closed by checking the seal on the door. If you notice over time the seals start to peel and break, be sure to tell your landlord so they can fix it. For your stove and oven, you can have two possible options, gas or electric. To turn the burners on for either, press and twist. On electric stoves, the burners will slowly begin to heat. With gas, be sure that the burner ignites. You do not need a flame for these burners for them to ignite. They have a mechanism that will create fire without risking your safety. Along with gas stoves, be sure that your burners catch flame when you do not use them and can be turned all the way off when you're done. If they are on and your gas is running, it can cause you to become sick and potentially an explosion can occur. Every apartment will have a fire extinguisher somewhere in the house. They are usually found in the kitchen, either mounted next to the stove or under the sink. Attached to each are directions on how to use them. If you are ever in a situation where there is a fire, especially a grease fire in the kitchen, use the fire extinguisher to put it out. If you spray water on a grease fire, it can spread or splash on you, causing serious harm or damage, so the fire extinguisher is best. For your dishwasher, dishwashers are great tools for cleaning your dishes. If you would like to use your dishwasher, be sure to clean all the food from the dirty plates, cups, and silverware. If you put your dishes in the dishwasher without rinsing them first, food can collect at the bottom of the dishwasher and attract bugs. Also, when using a dishwasher, be sure to use the correct soap. Dishwashing liquid cannot be used in the dishwasher. Dishwashing liquid makes too many bubbles, and using this soap in a dishwasher will cause them to start pouring out of the dishwasher, making a mess. With your sink, it may or may not come with a garbage disposal. This is the disposal that is meant for small items that are on a dish. In the garbage disposal are small blades that will rotate when turned, chopping up pieces smaller and smaller, making them easier to go down the drain. You do not want to put solid food down the garbage disposal. It will clog and potentially cause harm. When in use, if you hear something in the disposal, do not stick your fingers down to retrieve it. Because of the blades rotating in it, you might injure yourself. As most sinks, the left is hot water, the right is cold water, and be sure to keep the faucets all the way off to avoid having to pay for leaks. The only exception to this rule is during freeze warnings. During freeze warnings, it is okay to keep at least one faucet dripping so the pipes don't freeze and you are able to have running water. Also, be sure to keep an eye on underneath the sink. If you notice a pooling of water in the cabinet, it could be that there is something wrong with your pipes. If this is the case, be sure to tell your landlord so they can fix it as soon as possible. When it comes to food storage, the best possible thing is to keep everything sealed, put into the proper storage, and kept off the floor. When the food is left on the floor, it attracts bugs, and the last thing you want for them to be is crawling over your food and making you sick. Dry goods should be kept in pantries, cupboards, counters, or even on top of fridges. For perishables, in the fridge or sealed and put away if they don't require refrigeration. Another thing often located in the kitchen is the hot water heater. It is usually located in the closet. It is best to leave it alone entirely and not to mess with it or put anything in or around it. Don't store anything on top of it and simply leave it alone. All homes will have at least one bathroom, and they will have the basic furnishings, a sink, a toilet, and a bathtub shower combo. To start with the sink and the tub, the knobs on the faucet are the same for most sinks. On the left they are hot, and on the right they are cool. Always be careful with hot water. Always be sure that the faucets are turned all the way off to avoid higher water bills, and check to make sure that nothing is leaking from places it shouldn't be. Over time, if you see that it does, be sure to tell your landlord. Be sure the plastic shower curtain goes into the bathtub when using the shower to avoid water splashing on the floor, potentially making you slip or cause water damage. Nothing should be put in the drain of the tub to avoid clogging it. However, tubs can still clog. If you notice the water draining very slowly, there might be a block and you will need to fix it. Toilets in the US are very basic. There is only one handle to flush it and it does nothing else. To flush, simply push on the handle until the water begins to flow and let go. When it comes to the toilet, be sure that nothing is being put in it that shouldn't be. Pipes in the US are good, so it is okay to flush toilet paper and tissue when you use them, but not too much to avoid clogging. Thicker objects such as female sanitary pads, diapers, paper towels, regular napkins, and solid objects like toys should never be put down a toilet. These objects can block it and possibly cause damage that you will have to pay for. Just avoid flushing anything that shouldn't be put into a toilet. Living room. Depending on the apartment you are in, the living rooms will have a door to go to a small porch. Just make sure to keep this door locked before you leave the home and before you go to bed at night. Also be sure to keep this door shut when the AC or heater are on. Most apartments have carpets, especially in the living area. It is very important to keep the carpet clean. If something spills, be sure to clean it as soon as possible to avoid staining. If your carpet is ruined, you can be charged for replacing it. If you are vacuuming and it catches the carpet and pulls up, be sure to tell your landlord so it can be fixed. Throughout your home, as well as your living room, you will find blinds. Blinds are especially expensive and a bit delicate, so it is important that you do not damage them. When you move out of any home you are renting and the blinds need to be replaced because of damage, you will be required to pay for their replacement. Make sure that kids do not bend, break, or tear at blinds. It is important not to cut a hole in blinds to see who is at your door. If you have a door viewer, be sure to use that. When living in an apartment, it is good to bring your things inside when you are not using them. Leaving them outside makes it easy for people to come and take your thing. Laundry. In apartments, there are no washers or dryers. There are hookups if you would like to purchase them, but you will be close to a place where you can wash your clothes. Your apartment complex may have a laundromat or a laundry room. If not, then you can go to an outside laundromat. Apartment. It is important to always be conscious of your neighbors. Be sure not to play music too loud, stomp around, slam doors, and be sure to be quiet at night when people are sleeping.
Thank you for watching the video all the way through. If you have any questions, feel free to contact anybody at New AP.